We got four B's on that. What's the next one? Mr. Producer.
Who built this Excel sheet out?
How do I learn
This is impressive.
College athletes can make money on their name, image, and likeness.
Oh yeah, this is way better. Yeah, nope, nothing ugly coming from this.
Yeah. Well, there are some people that are like, look.
I don't think this is actually unfair.
Yeah.
Better or worse, I'm not sure about. And this is different than paying college athletes.
Different from, yeah. So you're not talking about paying them to be on the team.
We're talking about
that you are allowed to make money.
A company wants to use your name, your image, and they're going to pay you to do so.
So I had my first initial kind of impulse reaction to this was, well, this can't be good, right? Because it means that kids are going to be, focused on this instead of actually getting an education. And then I thought about it, and I thought, nobody's really focused on getting an education anyway.
That's the real problem with college sports, right?
So we might and most of the kids who are going to get benefit from this NIL sort of money making, they weren't they're not philosophy majors, right? Like they're not, they're probably not engineers. They're probably not. I don't mean
psychology majors.
What I mean is they're not in college to pursue. I'm not saying they're not smart enough. I'm not saying they're not capable. I'm saying, and especially when I found out that there's a registry, so you can, as a college athlete, if you want to change schools, because if you go to this other school, you can get better money. There's a registry that you sign into, and you can. There's an online tool to manage that movement. Mm-hmm. So what that tells me is you're not really there to learn to get a particular education.
No.
You're there for your the sports and the money.
Your goal is professional.
So it's really not. So thinking about that, I thought, well, if my concern is we need to give kids the right education and they're being distracted by all this, I think that's kind of a red herring, because I don't think
the issue lies somewhere else.
Yeah, the issue is, first of all, I'm not sure that most of our universities are capable of delivering an actual education these days. And secondly, if they were, I don't think the kids that are going to benefit from this NIL thing, they weren't there for that particular education in the first place. So why not just let them go do the thing that they want to do?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this one a little bit, but I'm with you. My initial reaction to it, and it still is, but it's yet to be seen. I think we've opened Pandora's box, and we've yet to see the negative impacts this could turn into. I think you see it a little bit in the transfer portal. There's a little bit of chaos, kids bouncing around, blah, blah, blah. There's also a fear of the haves and the have-nots getting even greater, where if you're gonna have an NIL and you take a kid that's in, Division II, you just take the best player off of some of those smaller schools, bring them over, let a car dealership put their face on the side of it, and they're off and running. But I'm also becoming more on the other side, that very much in line with what you're saying, that they're not there for the education. The vast majority of them aren't thinking education. It's money. I want to make the money now. And possibly, I did hear one argument that a possible pro, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, is it could keep kids in college longer and actually finish school, because they're not chasing jumping out and going to the professional to make their money. However, if they're good enough to where they're going to get pulled in one of the 6 rounds of whatever it is, or I'm thinking NFL in my mind, but certainly you can think other sports,
NBA, whatever.
They're going to jump. The money's going to be better than what they're going to get off of Tommy Vaughn, Ford.
Yeah. This is
gallery
for me.
Furniture.
This is an I don't care.
Yeah.
For that reason, I think we have real issues in college sports.
Yeah.
I think the value of college sports is being undermined by money, and I think a lot of the players at the Division I level are expecting that they're going to go, or they think they're going to go pro, or they're going to make, and they're not. And so we're missing a huge opportunity, and we're just paper macheing over top this notion of college sports, which is a huge mistake. But this particular issue, if a company wants to pay them, for their face and likeness while they're doing whatever.
Yeah, the other thing I thought about is that it really impacts a
pretty small number of people.
Of how many students. However,
having the face of some kid on Tommy Vaughn Ford or Sewell Cadillac or whatever it is.
Is that where they end up mostly?
I don't know.
I assume,
but it's not going to get me to go down there.
With the University of Houston football players, there's for some law firm. I'm assuming they're getting.
He goes
whatever.
He's a competitor to the guy with the hammer.
Yeah.
I think that so as a society, while I don't think that it's necessarily worse for the kids who get into this, it's probably fine for them. But as a society, I would say, I think that, well, this would be a whole other episode, but I think that there's so much wrong with what we're doing in the way of education to start with.
Exactly.
This just adds one more thing into the mix to take away from the focus of how ought we to be educating.
Yes.
And so it's like one more stupid thing.
Yeah, why not?
That's happening.
Yeah.
So
why not? Sure.
The
whole thing's a show. So why not?
I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if
let the kids make some
has
money.
a big impact.
No, I'm with you.
I don't know if it has a big impact. Like I'm going to give it a W, but I'm going to say it's worse. It may be worse.
You've changed my mind.
Only a small.
I'm with you. You've changed my mind for that very reason. I'm with you. I'm going W as well.
You're on the way
for the same reason.
W.
It's not helping.
Yeah.